Hello and welcome back to another HellCase Cup number 7 Group B matchup. The best of one between pro100 and Windigo Gaming. Hope you guys are doing fine today, and most importantly, how are you guys doing? It's always good fun to speak to you guys and see what everyone is up to when casting these maps. I'm also excited to see what pro100 are going to play like. I've been following them for a little while now, since of course the organisation announced itself, and I think it's a really interesting name to have in esports just based on how it's run and the people that own it. Definitely always keeping an eye on the teams and seeing what the players can do as well. Of course, every player has a history from these guys. I do love the Windigo Gaming logo though. That's really cool. Just a random little tidbit for you there. It's the first time I've actually seen it. I've seen the name around, but never seen the logo in game like that. That's really nice. Either way, we got ourselves a pistol. Early push coming in from pro100, taking a lot of control around this kind of fountain area. Already forging a few shots on towards the heads of Windigo though, as they find themselves not only 2, but potentially for a 3rd as well. Spellin is standing his ground, needs to, because he needs the bomb. Problem is, this duel is just so tough, and Bubble's got to come over and try and support them, which, well, that works out quite nicely. Punisher comes in from behind, slipping onto a diver, and we got ourselves a 3v3. Flaric, going to be nice and patient. Doesn't want to overextend here. Has a good position in terms of spotting what's going on towards long, so he's just going to double back for that instead and allow his teammates to be holding on towards connector. It's rewarding too. Catches ahead of Speller. Nicely done. Bubble is going to repeat, but that's more damage done. Bubble 1 HP. Flaric just hitting his shots. He may well escape on 13, but he's done his bit in this round already. It's like Punisher is also going to be spotted. What'll be interesting is, do pro100 call that as that long player just staying long, or do they expect there to be a rotation and someone to be short as well? Looks like Death is just going to be cautious of that short push, so some nice communication coming in from pro100 as they seem aware of what is going on, or at least just accounting that that could be the case. I say that and then he falls back, so it's unfortunate timing. Bubble then gets to walk in, finds Flaric. Death, hearing the noise of Punisher being close, won't want to swing. Will Double no more. Flash pushing him back some as well as time being bought, but it's not all bad. Kenzo is right behind them anyway, so this flank is pretty beneficial. Punisher then just going to opt to dive on forward to garbage and play from there. Struggling with the Glock though, means that Kenzo can push it over the line. It's pro100 get themselves a pistol.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Ship's just going to be holding with a CZ, waiting for the likes of Kenzo. May well actually just want to peek around the corner a tad, but has to be careful not to give himself up, of course, in too easy of a duel. Thinking your teammate, not a pretty sight. Russia's going to hear that as well, bear in mind, so that's like actually some pretty significant information given up to pro100. Looks like they're just not going to commit to that off the back of that as well. Just going to be testing this B site instead. Kenzo swings, finds one, transfers for a second. Finally gets shut down by Punisher on short, but that's way too late. He's already at the party. The life of it, in fact. 2 for 1 is just rough. Def just going to chew up the MP9 as well, securing trade after trade. The double kill as the bomb runs down into towards water. pro100 walking all over them on this buy. Ivan. Gonna find himself to pick on Victor, dealing with these pistols ever so nicely. 3 for 1, not a bad trade. He'll get the gun, but not for long. Ship's gonna tempt fate as well by looking like he's running forward for it. Picks it up and curves around the corner, but how much more damage can he do with it? That's actually apparently a pretty stupid question as he finds Flaric as well. Thankfully, normality kind of restored itself though. It will be 3-0, and for Windigo, this is their first big chance now. Get themselves 5 AKs on the board, of course, so get an idea of what they're going to be doing on their T side. Cloud, I see you, buddy. I got you. Thanks for that little correction. Already a little bit of the round spent by Windigo, just chilling out really, just holding for these pushes, which it will be given up by the CT side. Spellum able to find a fair chunk. Crush taking down Kenzor, that's not good at all. It's a little bit of a messy situation. They do try and catch them on this push. Punisher. That is your teammate, buddy, in case you didn't know. Push lines up 2. It's getting the bowling down from a monster, really, isn't it? Thing for Punisher there will be though, if he can actually just stay connected. Ah, he opens the door. Oh no. What could have been beautiful may well now actually be a little more disappointing. Flaric, Ivan, both going to be supported. That is just a matter of timing right there. It leaves them absolutely clueless. CT side on 4. Windigo still stuck on nothing. A phrase that actually applies to them in general right now as well, when you consider just how much money they've got to spend going to this one. The answer there is it's also going to be nothing, just a few $100s here and there, but nothing crazy. Nature and a Scarper, a bit of damage down, but clues in the word. It's very spread out, running away from them in fact. Windigo just building up towards A. Looking for the jump on Flaric, but it's not going to come through just yet. It looked like a fairly good job as well by them holding it, but it was a shame to see Punisher able to sneak in with just the one. Even if it is just one kill at the end of the day, it's still fair play. We've got Speller making a lot of noise now towards B, and his whole kind of game right now is just to bait the attention of Crosstow. Unfortunately, Ivan gave Long just a quick shoulder peek, which gives it up. Now the information is no Crush. No way he should be losing any of those duels. And he will secure the round. Effectively single-handedly. Spellin is so far out. Comes up through connector, of course. Is going to try and see what he can do. There's no point in him saving. He has a bit of Kevlar, so I guess he could carry that over, see if he could find a rifle, but I don't think he'll be able to get to one. Actually seen that M4, that's not half bad, but might actually play for it now. He's got himself a welcome chance. They've left the doormat open. 10 seconds left. If he can find this player backside, then he could have had it, but also had to have the barman. 2 things to juggle at once. Man, it's no circus act. Bulgarian Blint, it's been a long time, dude. It's Nellis. We were going for left the doormat out and left the door. You can see what went wrong there, can't you? One of those days. Nice to see you again, dude. Bulgarian Villain. How you been? It's been a while, man. Of course, a pause here. Good chance for this T-side to really think things through. Haven't really had the start they've wanted, but at the end of the day, it's only 5 rounds, right? Anything could happen. You've been studying Bulgarian Villain. That is tough, dude. What are you studying? Remind me. What is it? What is it you're looking for? I've been good. I've just been grinding the casting, like you say. Had a fun few days getting back on it again. Always nice to be back behind the mic. Tonight's been a little hot and cold. We've had our hiccups for sure. Got to make sure our wordplay is definitely on point. That's for sure. It's Netta's calling us out on that. Cuts deep, dude. Cuts deep. Either way, Windigo ready to go. 5 AKs, a little bit of utility. Victor and Ship's not going to have too much, but at the end of the day, considering the way the two players play, it's not really the end of the world. Focus so far is just going to be taking connector control, using the early mollies to allow Punisher to get himself up close. Flaric isn't going to contest it all, actually decides, you know what, screw this, I'm just going to back on away. They should be concerned about the position of Ivan, though. I mean, he could quite easily get overwhelmed if those players fight towards top con. Oh, that's just disgusting. Crush. Finding the pick through the wood. They will come out short off the back of that and find the trade, but Kenzo is still a monster. Looks like they have a bubble wall. And eventually claps on towards the site itself, leaving Def to hide on away, but then they don't commit to the plant. No! Bubble blind off the flash as well, means Def whips out the USP and an insult to injury as he finds the kill. Punisher now trying to save the round, but the flame is making his life hard. 20 HP is all that he has. Finds the flick onto the first play, looking now for Flaric, but has to go and drop for the bomb. Does he have to? No, he's been... he didn't have to drop for it at all. It's just right in front of sight. I just don't think he knew that. Oh, that's heartbreaking. He's now going to walk up in front of Flaric as well. Even I thought you had to drop for it. That is... damn. You hate to see that. Invictus, buddy, you're watching pro100 versus Windigo Gaming. It is less than pretty at times, I'll tell you that. Only 6 rounds though, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. This T-side can still afford to spend here as well, so by no means a whitewash scenario. Got about a little bit less, of course. I mean, spelling on the Galil is not a sight you often see. Ivan, just holding ever so slowly. I like the angle from him. Just see if he can find himself a little looking. Meanwhile, of course, we do see a quick 1-for-1, but it's nothing too crazy. Just a bit of damage done. Flaric was able to secure a frag, but yeah, going to be traded as always by Bubble. Mori's definitely going to be that A site, especially with Ivan missing that flick now. He's still holding to see if anyone comes through the smoke, but he's running out of time to play this one alone. Gets aggressive, but that may be an issue in itself. I mean, it depends on the time alone. Will the flash come out before they walk into him? The answer is no. Victor going to lose his life. Crush taking down Punisher. They come out from long, but at that point, Ivan's in toilets. Repeak after repeak, right through the stone, as Ivan sends them packing. A triple kill for him. Looks like a coaching issue over on Windigo, though. It is going to prompt another pause, and at 7-0, I think they can kind of do with it, to be honest. I don't think they're going to be complaining, not at all. Console, it is not tactical. It should be tactical. Don't get me wrong, but are they just going to play without their coach? Maybe. I guess, yeah. Who needs a coach? I don't want to make a joke about them being 7 rounds down, but they are 7 rounds down. So, go figure. At least they got themselves onto short. Punisher is holding for any sort of late round vector plays. Spotted out instantly though. Punisher will at least be good for 1, but almost certainly should then be traded. Death is holding for it as well, bear in mind. Dancing around the smoke, pops out, finds a kill, then back towards holding short. I like this as well because it just nullifies the whole play from Punisher, really. Eventually though, he's going to deal with him. That's an M4 for him if he wants it. On B, that's a given, but any sort of plant, anything like that, complete different story. Victor tagged down to 17 HP before he tries to plant. At that point, Def is just going to swing out the molly as well, being a little problematic. Leaving Ivan just a tab on away with his P250. Eventually those taps lead to something a little more fruitful. A kill and a bomb defuse. And 8 rounds on the board for pro100. This time around, less of an offensive towards B and much more of a setup towards A. Ivan, though, is going to be looking for something as he gets nice and aggressive, the counterpart of the CT side. Oh, this could actually work as well. Ship's just going to walk right into his crosshair. Oh, checking for it, though. The shot to be missed as well means that the defensive molly has to be dropped, and Ivan now instantly falls back. Floweret, meanwhile, of course, was taken down. He got aggressive in connector. Too aggressive, in fact. I mean, advantage is put in play for the T's. Make that even more as Spellin. One taps crush. Run for us. I mean, you're not wrong. We're trying to get in the habit of saying Prosto. So then when I was like Prosto 100, like it doesn't work, right? Because obviously it's not Pro 100, it's Prosto 100 apparently. Trusting Twitch chat. I can't speak today, apparently. What is... We said leaving the doormat open instead of just leaving the door open. We're saying 100 twice. This is no pretty sight. Wondering towards B they will go, then Flash leaving Kenzor completely blind, but he makes it work anyway. The Flash also making Windigo hesitant to push, so kind of a double-edged sword depending on which side you want to look at it from. Ship still taking down Ivan, that starts to open up the round, but you've got Def on short anyway. Make things just that little bit tougher. Still going to be fighting this one, of course. The bomb planted. Knows he can't come from short, so we'll have to relocate to Monster, and from there, that's when the going just gets a little bit more tough. Has a 1v1 against Spellin though while he wants it. Ships is relocating towards his upper side, so providing that still holds true, I don't think he's complaining. Problem is he actually has to win the duel, which he doesn't. Means Windigo have themselves their first round in this game. Did their coach return at any point? No, he's just gone. Maybe he wasn't their coach. Maybe he was just like a manager sitting in or something. That does really confuse me though, why you wouldn't have your coach like come back if there was a tech issue, him timing out or something. Unless like he's just literally lost his internet or something. Either way. Windigo slowly but surely working their way up through this mid portion of the map. Looked like they were going to head back down connector, so they were totally not sure if they were actually going to commit to this A play or not, but just judging now by the position of that bomb and the way they've reshuffled themselves towards long, we definitely know what's coming. It is going to be this A push. Ivan, of course, that first contact, looking to see if he can spot them with the AWP, has Victor's name written all over it. Just then knows the position of ships due to that smoke, catches him. Oh, so close in fact, but misses the shot. I thought he had it at the leg, but didn't quite land. That means Spelling can push up through mid and take him down. Just a trio on the site. Crash playing the other side of the smoke, but unable to save the life of Kenzel. Bomb ticking down, waiting for these smokes to fade. Punisher just holding out, waiting for them to move into his crosshair, which they will, but... Hey, Def, how do you play this? I mean, Bubble's not going to peek you. I think you grab the open run. I like this as well. It really maximizes what he can take away from the round. Instead of just being a dead body, just kind of blown to pieces by a bomb explosion, at least he's now AWP, Kit, Kevlar. Sure, it gives them the second round, but I don't think he was going to win that clutch anyway, let's be honest. Bear in mind, for Pro 100, they might have 8 rounds on the board. They might have gotten all of those back-to-back, but they did a lot of damage in each of those rounds on the T side, so they don't have anything built up on this Pro 100 side. Look, you know, 2,000, 2,100, 2,150. It's all the same. Not quite sure I call it 200 IQ, but still. Bit of damage being done, but fortunately he's going to lose his life anyway. Ivan going to take down Punisher, so securing at least 2 kills. It's basically, you could look at it as what's happening to Pro 100 right now is kind of what Windigo have done to them all. So it's, yeah, goes both ways. Looks like the techs are out in force tonight, though. Another issue. I haven't saved an AK, at least, is going to be the cherry on top, but still a tech pause slowing things down. Apparently some sound problems or something. Hopefully that resolves itself pretty soon. Oh, the coach is back too. Yeah. into this one we will go. And there's aggression again from pro100 to start this one off, right up towards these benches. Crush just going to be looking towards behind where the flash comes in front of him. Nice little anti-flash setup, but it doesn't lead to too much. Flaric has to step up and hit his shots, but he's just not. Ivan, at least he'll sneak in and find Victor, but maybe it'll be too little too late. The molly doesn't even need to be smoked out, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Downside is it makes his position known that he's still there. I'm going to try and use a smoke to back away though, but it's too far off. Using it to smoke the molly just gives him no exit plan. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Kenzor's still going to look to hold on towards the B site, but all alone decides to be a little bit more withdrawn. Push on forward. Take the wacky duel. I mean, no matter what happens, realistically, he's going to be okay. I mean, this is just another really a save for pro100 as well. I mean, look at death rate. So far out of the action. I don't know if you want to fight this anyway. I mean, sure, if Punisher gives you the pick, but now you know his position as well. I mean, realistically, how would you pull a player out of that right-hand hook angle? The answer is you pretty much don't. Wait, so Prosto means 100. That was the whole thing. I thought maybe I was just saying like Prosto twice, but I don't know. Maybe, oh, sorry, maybe I just was ridiculous and said 100 twice, like Prosto 100. But in fact, Prosto just means the whole thing, right? You learn something new. Ship's looking to see if he can work short. SMG just going to bide its time, but eventually secure the headshot it needs. Victor, meanwhile, taking down Kenzor as well, leaves his pistols a little pretty much down in the dirt. From there, this Prosto lineup, nothing really they can do to kind of counteract anything that's going to come their way. I mean, they're starting to be stretched very thin. The weaponry as well is just not there. It's one of those rounds where fighting it is really difficult. Just due to the fact you're on pistols and Kevlar, you kind of do hope if you're in their shoes that you get yourself a rifle or something picked up off the floor, but it's just looking tough. Looks like B is going to work out as the target here still, but I don't know. Def going for that drive-by P250 action, but if he peeks again, King will certainly just got to tap him down. He's just one shot to the head, bear in mind, to push it over the line, and that's what we see here. Nice job by Victor. Crush working it down from above with the scout, but unless his teammate on the site can do something sooner rather than later, it's a done deal pretty much. I mean, Crush, I like what you're doing, but I don't know. They should not give him a way in now. This should be completely written off. Going for a few more tags, but no matter what volley he fires, Windigo giving him absolutely nothing to work with at all. And that's why I said that this should be pretty much written off. Okay, so pro means pro, and then sto means 100. There you go. I feel like I now know how to say 100 in a new language. Okay, how is that an emote? Who's made that an emote? I mean, I'm not surprised that Forsen has it as an emote. Like, I like the little face version of it that BS has done. Got a fancy little H1Z1 tag as well, so I like. 5 rounds, though, a whole lot for Windigo, considering how it started. So I don't think they're complaining at all right now with how this game is going for them. Stepping up on their T side. After a struggling performance in the early stages of the half, they just seem to have found a crack in Prosto somewhere. And they're making it work. And the reason why I say somewhere in kind of that sort of way is I don't really know what they're doing. You know, from just watching the way they play, they haven't really changed up too much. It's kind of still very much more of the same. They're just finding more opportunities where previously they just weren't. Like, the kills are just going their way. They're starting to... I guess they're starting to bunch up a little bit more. But outside of that, it doesn't feel like they've made some huge changes. They've just started to pick on a few individual mistakes from Prosto, and from there those have converted to rounds. I mean, every round has always been close in this game. I think that's the thing to remember, is a lot of those 8 rounds that Prosto picked up, they weren't exactly whitewashes. Some of them were, but I mean, the critical buy rounds were much closer. Either way, rambling aside, it's going to be good for 2 kills, playing around the edge of the smoke. Crush, aware of what's coming from long, just gets himself tucked in towards the corner, but a slight off angle, ever so rewarding. A ship struck to swing on around. He has no idea what's working out for him. Crush volleying through the smoke, though, that's a mistake. Bubble can use the traces to catch him with the AWP, with him throwing it over, picking up an AK and trying to have a welcome fight. 1v5, close to catching Def, and eventually following through with the kill. There's 3 more names left for him to hit at. Kenzo on the very big flank. Means that this round should pretty much be done, but Ivan is going to steal it away anyway, as he just holds the angle. By Fearless Forecast, who do you think will win? That is a good question. I don't know, man. That's my answer. There you go. You keep spamming it, but like I've given you your answer, so I don't know, I guess. Victor just creeping up. It's open, buddy. It's a little uncomfortable. Oh, Crush. So nearly getting caught through the wood. Nice little nade to go over, though. He's going to catch spell and down to 50 HP, so at least a lot of return damage being done. Windigo definitely getting the unfortunate side of that, but the fact that is they still have 1 more player standing in comparison to Prosto, so not exactly all bad. Of course, the B site going to be what they try and funnel themselves onto. Every player there standing outside those tunnels leading to Monster and Short. Union has gone through his Punisher, and he's just going to sit tight anyway, just a whole connector. As everyone else just gone flying at Monster. I'm not sure if it's a mistake going all together. I guess you're about to see Crush playing together. Oh, the flash as well. It's worked out so well. It was defensive towards Short, but it caught the player who jumped behind him. You just hate to see that style of timing, but it is a 2v2, so they can get themselves a bomb plant. Ivan arriving at the site already. We'll be looking for that Short pick. Gonna buy time ultimately for Flaric as well. He'll be coming in from Monster. Speller just going to peek into him. And Ivan will now make the push. Swapping for a rifle. I like that from him. Knows the AWP has a lot less mobility than what he needs at this point. Punisher being spotted, and Ivan's got himself around the pillar. That's huge. Even with it being found, the pick being found, Flaric still has a very welcome chance, but Punisher, shot after shot is what he lands. Prosto playing from behind, but they do pull through in the end. You're still asking me this question about the forecast. I've given you the answer, my dude. But yeah, I mean, as I was saying with this game, like, specifically, I think that Prosto started very strong. I think that's a given by the scoreboard in front of us. But what's interesting is that they started to fall off after just... I don't think it was anything super... It wasn't like super awkward clutch or a round that you necessarily should have won or anything like that, which can sometimes infuriate teams. It just felt like Windigo started to find their groove. I mean, they got themselves their first round in round 9. And from there, it just kind of worked out for them. We saw a few good little clutches, but I don't think there was anything... There was no round that screams to me. I guess is what I'm looking for in my head is a round that goes, okay, that was the turning point in the game. But there really wasn't one. I mean, outside of the basic one, which I mentioned, which is when they started getting rounds. But I don't think there was a round that, you know, goes, okay, that was when everything started going well for Windigo, or that was when, you know, that play they made motivated the team. There just wasn't really much of that. Just felt like they started playing their game and things started working out for them. Prosto just gave up a lot of free picks and, you know, had the individual mistakes capitalized on. It was a pretty, I don't know if tactically dry is the right phrase, but I don't know what comes to mind. Anyway, the pistol here from Prosto is all about A-Long. Bubble tucked in on the corner, ready to float his way into his opposition. They don't even check. Oh no, that's 2 kills. Flarich at least able to shut them down. But not long before Victor steps in. From there, it is just Flarich and Crush. Actually, in fairness to them, they do a pretty good job of making this round possible for Crush, but still, it is a 1v2. One that eventually Windigo push over the line, and I gotta give him credit, that was a beautiful way to start off this half. I mean, Bubble on Long just should have been checked for. Getting 2 kills from that before being traded is a little bit of a sloppy mistake for sure. Nice little deep nade landing. Do we get a bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. Respect for Prosto for really slowing this round down, because a lot of teams can rush these sort of rounds. Just think, alright, let's just, you know, push something together, see what happens, kind of just hope for the best. But no, they're really trying to think this one through, really looking for these opportunities and just making sure that they maximize the chance of them converting this into an actual win. Because for them, if they were to win this, let's just say that, like, it'd be huge. Problem is they're getting naded, mollied, flashed. So they're kind of losing every battle before the battle, if that makes sense. Or before the war, I guess would be the better way of phrasing it. A few deagle shots do actually come through. Flarich getting 2, making it to 3. It's a 1v1. Okay, then. Bubble being smart, but just getting on the aggressive the minute he hears him fall back, though. Which means that he can follow through with the round. But that should not be a 1v1. And that's kind of my point, right? There's always a chance if you just play with a bit of smarts. Definitely not helped by those nades, though. I mean, if they had a little bit more HP to play with as well, could also have been a bit of a factor in those initial brawls. But those nades were just so good. Especially the one later round, just as we were starting to talk about the whole war situation, we saw a nade land in toilet. And that knocked off another 40 HP off what? Ivan, Crush, and Flarich? Either way, Spell and the nade both acting as a pretty good combo. Bubble just sneaking in for a bit here and there as he's going to finish Crush off. This game going 9-9. Windigo able to equalize it. It's the important one though, of course. Prosto can now afford to actually spend some real money, get the big guns out, the AWP, the 4 rifles, utility as well present where needed. See, but I hate that question right now because I haven't put the time in. So like, I'm pretty sure I'm something stupid like MG or Stars or like something crazy like that. We used to play more. I have like 6,000 hours, no 5,200 I think, to be precise. But now we spend all our time watching GoTV. Flourish. Able to get that initial kill as well is a pretty good start. Sort of cements this early advantage that Prosto were able to pick up. Rush just going to go walking through a smoke as well. Really sets them off now on a strong footing to take this A site. Ivan with no information towards long, but can call it's clear, just judging by how far he's been able to walk up. Will likely prompt them just to be forcefully checking Van, which is exactly the play. I mean, Punisher getting 2 is almost madness, but still, they just do not have the map how to survive that sort of push. Dude, like, it's the worst, man. I need to actually spend, like, I'm gonna do Mod's plan. So Mod is, for context, for those who don't know about Mod, epic League Ops guy at DreamHack. I think he set himself a week or something like that to get to global. Like, he'd been global before, like, he knew he could do it. But he was getting mocked by his colleagues. This is, like, the gist of the situation from reading tweets. But I think, like, his colleagues were just mocking him a little bit. It was, like, kind of, like, a friendly banter for not being global, right? But then, obviously, you're saying, like, oh, yeah, I used to be global. Like, we'll just go get global again, then. So he spent a week, I think, playing MM. I got it. Which, you know, I kind of am tempted to do that as well. But then playing MM is a really, like, life-changing experience. Like, some of the different personalities you meet on matchmaking. I don't know, man. They're pretty creative. Anyhow, the CT side, just waiting for any sort of presence from Prosto. I mean, they've seen not a single bit of movement, but they're not getting aggressive. They're just paired up with this kind of very far back, old SK-like style. Downside is they haven't really played the first half of it well. They played, because the first half is where you kind of get aggressive and you get to get that information, you get a first pick or something, and then you fall back into this. It's very, like, defensive play. But they've not got a pick. They've not got any information. What they're allowing is Prosto to walk up to them and basically execute into them, which is always a ballsy move. Giving that T-side first chance. Spellin. Chips both playing in tandem though. Chips doing a great job of dealing with Long. Meaning all the plays are going to be dealt with, and it'll be just Ivan all that remains on this T-side. It's a fair play to them. I judged them for it and knocked them back a fair bit, and didn't go into the round with a huge amount of hope for them being so patient, but we saw some great play from Ship, Spellin stepping up as well where needed. I mean, the advantages were instantly taken, and Windigo able to hold things off. If you play MM, can you stream it? I would watch it. Maybe. I don't know. I guess. That could be. It should be a thing, but like, yeah. I don't know. I'm just lazy. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Plus, we actually have a surprisingly busy day today. Otherwise, I'd maybe even stream some, but today is a little hectic. What's good though is that Windigo have been able to equalize 10 to 10. Going from like 8 to 8 to here is such a big growth in the game for them. But also because the whole time they've kind of had Prosto by the balls. I mean, look at their economy again, right? It's an AWP and 4 pistols. Smoke on towards short. Oh, Crush. Getting caught because of that as he just pokes his head on through. Def knows the position of Spellin, so uses that to get a rifle at least. Kento, meanwhile, getting another shot to the back of the head of Punisher. Bubble suddenly becoming the player we need to be watching. Which means auto-directed now is not the time to switch. There we go. Yeah, we want to watch him because we need to know, okay, have Prosto shown themselves on A, and are they looking to really actually commit to this play? The answer is no. We can see on the map now that they're falling back and coming through towards B. Upside is we've not seen any rotations. It is just these 2 players B. Ships with that kill as well is going to reposition himself to deal with short. And from there, line them up and knock them down. Ships and Victor doing a wonderful job at holding this B site. It was so important to keep track of Frostone just to see what they were doing and see kind of what they had shown, because then we'd be able to know, okay, well, what would the sensible response be and what is the expected response going to be? Those are 2, I think, different things, as you can always assume that teams sometimes apply a bit of out-of-the-box thinking, but for Windigo there, that was perfect. They didn't see anything towards Ace, they didn't rotate anyone off either, though, they just decided to play that AWP alone. They initially started to take a lot more duels towards Monster, knowing full well that likely that play would be alone. They win it, then instantly look short. And everything just works out for them. Pistols at least give it a chance to try for a plant. Unable to buy the 3 seconds they need to even get onto the site, let alone anything else. 12 to 10. Frosto definitely starting to struggle. Kenzel just starting to do a bit of damage through the short wood. And volleying a few shots through those blocks just to say, okay, well, what can I find? The answer is a fair bit, considering Bubble, Victor, and Ships are now all down to 57, 33, and 86. But they found something better. They found a kill. They're taking down Crush by opening that doorway, allowing the door to peep on through. $55 seconds. Now where we're at. Frosto need to set up something towards this B site. They've got the utility to do it, so I'm definitely going to be pushing them at this point to almost screaming, just go execute, boys, come on. You've got yourself 3 smokes. You got a molly on Ivan as well. You could go for a 3 molly, 3 smoke execute if you really wanted to. Go for something super creative. Really what I want though is just something basic, like, yeah, molly barrels, get a smoke up towards upper, use it to get out on site. So get molly on site, gets Victor up at barrels, Kenzo taking down Ships as well. You've got Bubble applying a bit of squeezing pressure with the AWP. He's actually landing a huge amount. Has he bought enough time? Spellard is behind sandbags. Kenzo cannot plant the bomb with 10 seconds left. Spellard, you just got to push through. Just spray. Well played. That is nice from Windigo. They are surprising me with this performance right now. That is a beautiful way to end it too. 13 to 10, of course, going to be the scoreline. Frosto have very little in the bank. Thankfully, it's going to be their 4th round, so that'll definitely supplement them. But this is a really good performance from the CT side.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Windigo have run every round since I started the stream. No problem. This man knows. Okay, so they've done a pretty standard half buy. It's not bad. They've been able to get at what they could at the end of the day. $13-10 is definitely less than ideal, but you have what you have at the end of the day. Of course, the B site really where things are about to go down. Okay, so this is a much stronger execute than what we even saw in the previous round. The flashes, the mollies are all there. The smoke allows them to actually get on towards short. Makes life hard for Ships. He plays in the edge of it, in fairness. which is pretty rewarding. That's 2 kills. Punisher supporting him for Monster still means that the round is lock-in key for the CT side. But it was a much better attempt than what we've seen in the past from them with rifles. So we need to see more of that on a full buy. Of course, calculating their economy so that they get everything they need here, even after they spent into that last round. So it still is the 4 rifles, it still is the smoke, molly, flash, flash. Got the AWP Kev on Ivan, most importantly, then an extra molly and flash, flash on him as well. So by no means, you know, a misspend by Prosto that some people might be calling out in that previous round. Everything's worked out for them. They've been smart about their approach. But they need to do something with it. They've been struggling again. I mean, I also think that it might be worth saying just stay away from the B site. Or Spelling getting a little aggressive, meaning Ivan will slip on out and punish him. Bubble wasn't really in a position to respond to that either. Now he is, but I don't even know if the shot will land. There's your answer. Victor, meanwhile, taking a dueling connector. One that Crash will win with a simple headshot. Oh, Bubble walking into the crosshair of Ivan. Seeing his legs just through the bottom of the smoke. And you can go for the predictive body shot. Am I going to cast another game or just this one? Casting all of HellCase this evening. So. There we go. Crush and Co. Got to push it over the line. Walking up to A, keeping the 4v or 5v2 even. Pretty easy fashion. Just the one for them though. My fear right now is, okay, you pick up 1 round after how long? Yeah, so it was like 5 in a row. If they get reset here, it's game over. I think that's... I mean, okay, so they kept 2,900 on Kenzel. We got 3,500 on Flarich, so it's actually not that bad. Let's not be too dramatic. The reset wouldn't exactly be heartbreaking. So far, little being done in the round, aside from 2 teams opting to play their own consecutive defaults. Just round after round. I feel like when people talk about HLT ratings in chat, the only thing I want to do is just grab some popcorn. You just gotta let it be. It's based on points. It's based on, you know, what teams have been able to do. Ultimately, it's based on achievements. Slowly formulating on towards B. Crush, Punisher both going to go head-to-head with their foe. Ends up pushing for the bomb, but does a treat with it as well, bear in mind, as he finds the head of Punisher. Victor looking to deny that advance. They've done just enough to allow for their teammate on short to basically spin around Spellin, pretty much sealing the round at that point as well, as Bubble then can pick off Crush, and Flarich is on this big flank, which could have been round winning for Prosto if he was there quicker when everything was going down, but unfortunately he was a little slow, waiting for his teammates to really kind of get the plant and allow him to kind of play at the tempo he wanted to. That means Windigo can get themselves to 15. Now this is the economy kind of mess that I was talking about. It's nothing too bad. They can make a buy work out of this, but it's not pretty either. Still though, I think they should be happy they've been able to get rifles up on everyone. You know, it's the UMP on Crush. So anything, yeah, there's another AK on the floor as well for Def, so definitely a lot better than it could have been. It's MK, right? This is like all pretty much MK players. Oh, but didn't they go to, oh, they went to that UK org for a while. Imperial? I think it was Imperial. It's like Imperial or Imperium or something like that. Few kills coming through though, mostly favouring this Frosto lineup. Fighting, of course. Every round on the line now has to be some perfect CS from them. They want to bring this one back to OT. Sprinting forward, giving Punisher a welcome chance, but distracting him by the fact there were 2 players there means that they actually do survive. Get onto the site. Bubble's going to drop on down though, so Bubble's actually here. The molly going to stop him from doing anything, so he will just hide. Smoke also giving him the chance to peek, but Crush just got on top of the barrel, and I really like that from him. That's an individual decision that actually is kind of useful. It means that there was no 1v1 for him to take. It was always going to be a double peek no matter how hard he tried. And ultimately, the 12th round, so 3 to go. This one should be relatively simple. I mean, it's just pistols to the CTs. So it should be 2. Definitely doable. I've seen much harsher comebacks happen. Doc's kind of summing up my thoughts exactly, which is just, please close the game out now, Windigo, before anything stupid happens. They're the kind of team right now who, like, this is a good win for them, right? Few shots gonna come through, but nothing too crazy. Windigo, just close it out. That's all you have right now to do. Just 1 round. So close, but so far. This is the one. pro100 pushing out on towards B. Crush, Flourish, both find themselves picks, but Victor tucked in towards barrels may well be the saving grace. A second flash lands, leaving them completely blind, but the push still builds up. Victor has to climb out, save himself from the flames. It's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. The site now being taken, of course. The Spellin to still try and respond with a lot of damage and a double kill, in fact, but not quite enough. Leaving Bubble with 2 to find and an AWP to his name. If he peeks to look short, Crush will definitely slide out and take him down. But the same goes for any sort of fight. Needs to just pull distance if he can. Ooh, that's a nice flick. Bubble, so close. Gets the gun up in the air, but it just doesn't quite connect. 14 to 15. Windigo fight it out with pistols. Attack pause coming in for the CTs. Just really going to be thinking this one through now. Replay, please. we have no replays, but I mean, I think he was moving to the right. Like, it was just a second later, or even a millisecond. Like, could have been a different outcome, but. Flashblade comes out towards long, gives Crush the peek. On towards Spellin. Now, what's smart here from the CTs is they're running down the clock and they're trying to see if they can get this sort of distance dealt with. They want them to come close. The only player who's comfortable playing at range is Spellin, but even then it's less than ideal. Finds himself at least a tag on towards Ivan. That's going to be good for short term. The push still comes in and it's just such a nice execute from Prosto. Leaves him completely out of it in terms of smokes and such. Things get a little messy on the site, but Flourish is able to take down Bubble. From there, every player on Windigo is pushed back, right? Bank, Dumpster, completely hidden away. Flash does come out, but the secondary flash gets dropped. It leaves them completely blind. Lambs to the slaughter. They struggle a little. Spellin landing a nice shot, but nothing that's really game-changing. Well, they do have a kit, but this is a 1 versus 3. They just shouldn't peek him. There you go, that is going to be the case. Overtime is where we are going. It's mad, but it is what it is. Prosto, multiple chances to keep a good lead going, but they struggled early on, and they effectively gave the win over to Windigo, but then they couldn't close it out. Yeah, raise some questions, but that's what you get given. Either way, going to be waiting for the ready up to come on through. Looks like Windigo are good to go, but I imagine Prosto have a lot of talking to do after that game. How do you not close this out? I mean, that is a good question. 10 assists as well. I mean, that's the struggle is real. There we go, though. Someone has returned from the toilet. Typical online CS. You know, just whip out to the toilet real quick. Sorry, boys. Quick OT pause. Need to go to the toilet. It's one of those things. Flourish's ADR. I might have that up here. Let's have a look. Oh, 101.8. There you go. Pretty impressive, actually. Oh, I like this, though. Aggressive on the short as well. I mean, with a little bit of easy. Kenza slips back through the smoke, though. She gets away. Jumping above the shots of ships. Counter flash to be thrown. At this point, Kenza is going to get back on the aggressive front. Crush trading blow 1-for-1. Victor opening up the door, though, at perfect time. Meaning it will be an advantage. Heavily edged out in favor of the CT side. Punisher going to lock himself on towards Monster. Meanwhile, Flourish is hunting for Spellin. Was a goal here for Windigo is to win all of their CT rounds. I think you guys are definitely onto something there. Few flashes, gotta find themselves over on towards A, but nothing too crazy just yet. The issue, I was gonna say was Ivan, but he's managed to b-hop his way through death. Food would be proud. Still a dead man walking, but don't get me wrong, that was a nice way for him to get out along. I feel like there's something I want to say right now, and Tutrick, and you're on the point basically. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the only response to that. On the point, on the ball is what I was going for. Apparently I can't speak anyway. English today, like, I don't know what's happened today. Like, we just tried to cast, and every word we tried to say, we've replaced it with a different word, and it just doesn't make sense. It's like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. It's like basically torturing myself and you, because you guys have to listen to it. Imagine that. We're getting through it though. 15 to 16, of course. This game definitely keeping itself going. Looks like a few ping related issues though. Bubble shot up to 100. Not really ideal. Props to Prosto though, being hoping to open up chat there, but yeah, being nice and good about it. We know you wasn't trolling, dude. We're trolling you though. Think about it. Nah, I appreciate the kind words. I feel bad now. No, I appreciate your comment, dude. It's always nice. I don't mind having a chat with people. I think it's always good, right? Because in these solo streams, personally, I think that like there's two different ways you can do it, right? There's like the 50% of you can be casting like super, I guess, standard, like that real kind of height, that real intensity, or you can cast with that same sort of tone, but you can casual up a little bit. You can go for this sort of summit like style, but you can also then apply that to just chatting to Twitch chat. And sure, it means there's a few more pauses and there's a few more little bits of moments of silence, but I think it's also just a bit more fun for you guys, and a bit more makes for a bit more of an enjoyable stream as well, in comparison to listening to the same voice for like 4 hours, like just casting, right? Because obviously then it's like, you know, it's still good, don't get me wrong. So it's our job as casters to make those 4 hours entertaining for you guys and have variation within our words and stuff, but I feel like on a solo stream, chatting to Twitch chat is definitely a good bit of fun. So hopefully that is something you guys agree with. I mean, let me know. Like, we're here for you guys ultimately. So, do I sound? I don't sound like DDK. Like, I don't know. There's only one thing that works for me, right? And I got this when I did studio work for like consistently for like a month. It was every time I got on stream, there'd just be snacks emotes in chat. That would all it would be. Yeah, like, unless I speak loud, it's because I have this like bad habit when casting of like getting into like over projection or like putting on a voice basically in a certain sense. I don't know. Like, I should sound like when I cast like I always do when I just chill, but when I go a little bit louder, you start to hear like my actual voice get out, or my casting voice, so to speak, which is obviously something we're working on. There we go. You get my point. Yeah, I do have that little like weird thing where I'm like thinking about something and then you just, yeah, it's a bad habit. It's funny though. I appreciate it, dude. Every time I say I don't sound like it, it's not me saying like getting frustrated. It's just funny. Like, I always find it funny when people like call people like budget metas or budget like, or for example, metas is budget anders. There we go. We've had a little DDK moment for you. Clear and concise just feels like the 2 words that I'm just not good at. For a caster, it's just not really a strong point, is it? I'll tell you what though, 45 seconds left, and we've not said a thing about this round. That is not what we're looking for at all, is it? And tell you what, we're going to dig down, scavenge for something, and we're going to start chatting about CSGO. 35 seconds and volleying towards toilets. This means Crush is going to have to fall back. The whole play that Prosto have been doing is pretty much telegraphed towards B, and you can see that just by the rotations we're seeing in the bomb on the back with the man himself, Def. Now, the smokes make things a little difficult. The flash as well, kind of adding insult to injury, as Punisher holding nice and close around it. But we had to lay down the lead as they push on through. The question is, do they check that right corner? That's what we're going to be having to watch for, of course, as Crush does come out pretty short. They take these battles, they check the corner, and it works out so well. Victor ripping into them with the spray, though. That's 3 kills for him, going for 4, and he finds it with his trusty USP, adding 4 kills to his 11,000 already on his Snaptrack AK, as Windigo secure themselves their 17th round, looking for that 3rd and final round as well, to keep a clear and concise overtime record. There you go. Victor. Boom. Make sure you keep your posture straight. Keeps your focus, helps keep you focused. I agree with that, actually. That is a strong point. That was a nice play from Victor. And also, we had some nice little hype fee there as well. So it's played in nicely to the chat memes. And we got a sick play of Counter-Strike. Couldn't ask for anything better. And also, I felt like I had to work clear and concise in there because, you know, just James would appreciate that, and that's what matters. I mean, jokes aside though, like, it's a bit of a mad play, sending 4 players through like that. They did have the upside of Crush getting out through short. He kind of got himself onto pillar, but he wasn't able to last too long before being traded. And your answer to your question of nationalities, Prosto is a Ukrainian team in full outside of Flaric, who is Latvian, if memory serves me correct. And then on Windigo, they are a full Bulgarian team. I believe Flaric is Latvian. Please don't hate me if I'm wrong. That's yeah. Either way, Victor with another nasty double kill. Still dancing on toilets as well. Finds himself a partner in the form of Kenzo. Leaving Crush and Ivan just to step in and try and pull off a bit of the fandango. Victor still doing work, but Ivan going to shut him down with a beefy play, just topping on full with the Zorp. Unfortunately, has to hop right back as well. 15 seconds. I don't think he even gets to be in time, let alone anything else. I mean, if he does, Punisher should catch him on the cross. Does he make it? He actually... Okay, no, I think he got it just in time for a plant. There's literally 2 seconds in it. Punisher is going to push him up anyway and put him to rest, so it will be still an 18th round. And overall, I think Windigo have to be happy with how this has gone. Exactly like they should have been able to, which is get the 3 rounds on their CT side. The important thing is, do they choke again in the second half? I'm going to use the phrase choke, and I think that's a fair way of putting it, because their T side was definitely a bit all over the place. Yeah, man, at least he got the plant for the money. That's, there should definitely be, like, I don't know, some sort of moat on the end of that, because that is not what you're looking for, of course. We can still choke. Turek just has no faith in his own team. Ivan looking for this early mid pick, and he might actually get it as well. The flashes are good, don't get me wrong, but they do fade away quick as anything. Windigo moving up on towards short. What's interesting is you move 3 players towards short as if you're going to be making that the actual B play, but you leave Punisher in connector. And the reason why it's so interesting is because it's Punisher is because he's the one with the bomb on his back. Which kind of, yeah, shows you that, okay, they're going to go back towards A. They're basically pulling off this whole fake. Now, Ivan was leaving, but that flash is going to cement him staying now. There's no way he rotates over. Spellin taking him down is a big win, though, as the mollies in land towards Dumpster. The plant does come through. And smart play from Flaric leaves him alive to try and clear things out towards toilet. Scores a bit of a nuisance towards long. His team already starting to fall away. Ships, of course, winning that duel against Kenzo, meaning that Prosto only have 3 players. And they've all stacked up. Coming in from roughly the same sort of area. It's long and bank. Nice to see Def actually just change it up by going towards Dumpster, but they have to peek into the same sort of funnel at this point that Windigo have created. This might be it. With Crush on 19 HP, it's over. 19-15. They got 3 back-to-back in that first half. They got their 1 in that second half that they needed. That pushes it over the line. No choke. GG's exchanged. And ultimately, I think a very good win for Windigo. They definitely took their time getting it, though, which is obviously not ideal, but it is what it is. As long as they got it done, that's what counts. The W is everything in these sort of games. Nonetheless, chat, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see some of you around for our next map, of course, coming up in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere, of course. This is the HellCase Cup number 7. The map has changed, so we are just a terrible producer at this point. But yeah, we're going to roll some ads, and then we're going to hopefully try and change the graphic in time. At this point, we might as well just do it now. It's just less awkward for all of us, really. We've already kind of let the map load, so let's run with it at this point. I'm going to hazard a guess that I know what the next game is and hope that I've got the graphic right for it. If not, this is why the graphics are wrong on stream. Don't judge me. I'll see you guys in just a few minutes' time. Do not go anywhere.